2014 Honda Pilot. We have the code P0420 for the catalytic converter and bank one and the rear. And once I started working on the vehicle, I realized that everything is so rusty. Everything is so rotten here. See, this has to be replaced, the flex pipe. So I'm gonna see if I can do something about the code here, the P0420, without diagnosing the problem too much, since I don't have access to the Honda software at this moment, because I'm kind of far away from home. Inside the vehicle here, scanning the PCM. Permanent code, catalytic system efficiency below threshold, bank one. So we're gonna see what we can do about it. Okay, let's remove this cross member plate for 2mm bolts. What I'm doing now is pulling out the 6 nuts from the exhaust pipe. These are 14mm nuts, by the way. Bend this piece of metal a little bit to have access to the nut. This is the last one here. There he goes. I'm gonna try to remove the hanger right there. Now I have disconnected the O2 sensor here from the top of the engine. See, right here, because I don't want to, because this exhaust pipe most likely is gonna come down a lot. The wire is gonna be stretched, so I don't want to ruin it. You also can take it out from here, but you still have to disconnect it from the top. You can take it out without disconnecting it from the top, but most likely you're gonna damage the wires, then you're gonna get your Kenyan light, then spend more money. Alright, I'm dead here. The exhaust pipe broke from there. It fell on the floor just about 3 seconds after I turned off my camera. This is the front here, and that is the rear. It broke from there. The studs are not good. The bolts, I'm gonna be showing that in a second. That's the exhaust pipe right there. Alright, this is the exhaust pipe, and that is the sensor right there. Now if this happens to you or something similar, that you take out this piece here from the exhaust pipe, take care of the O2 sensor here, or the sensor. If you're gonna pull it out with the sensor attached to it, don't let the tip of the sensor hit the floor. At the same time, we're gonna take advantage and replace the flex pipe right there, because it's so old already. Amazingly, it was not leaking. But all right, these are the bolts here, the studs right there. See how they look like? Very pointy, very pointy. No nuts were here on this side, no nuts at all. So everything has been in by the rust. See right there, right there, right there. I'm not gonna bother with this. I'm gonna bring this thing to a shop, see what they can do about this, or maybe replace the catalytic converter, I don't know, and replacing the flex pipe. Alright, we have a better view for the sensor here and the catalytic converter right there. I forgot to mention that I did a back pressure test on this catalytic converter, because I wanted to know if it has if it's restricted, or if it's getting restricted or something, or if it's blocked. But no restrictions at all. It doesn't create any kind of pressure on the pressure gauge. I didn't show that on camera because I already have videos on my YouTube channel on how to do back pressure test on catalytic converters. So I have decided I'm gonna replace this sensor too, and on the new one I'm gonna install a spacer anyway, because I want to see if the chicken light goes away. And the reason why I'm gonna replace the sensor, because I have no way to prove if the sensor is good or not, since I'm not carrying any of my equipment like software and not too many tools, since I'm visiting my friends here. So now you can install one of these spacer that I'm gonna be installing here only if the cut is not restricted. But if the cut is restricted, don't try to trick the PCM by installing adapters, spacers or anything like that, because you causing damage to the engine. But in this case, this cut is not restricted, so it's safe to put an adapter here just to find out if the check engine light is gonna go away or it's still gonna stay. If it goes away, definitely the problem is gonna be this here and not the sensor, but we're still gonna install a new sensor. The spacer is gonna stay here for about a month, and then my friends are gonna go ahead and do the replacement for the cut here. They're waiting for some money at this point, so. Alright, we're gonna try to take out the sensor without applying heat first, without using the torch. Most of the time they don't come out without applying heat. That's the tool right there. I like that tool. I'm gonna be providing a link just in case. Now, because I don't care about the sensor anymore, I'm taking it off without disconnecting it from the top. Now we have to disconnect also, take off those clips right there, any clips that the wire is attached to. In some cases you damage the wires when you do it this way, when you take it out with the sensor being connected. In this case I don't care anymore. This is the top of the engine here. In this direction is the sensor. Now that sensor is attached to a bracket, metal bracket, and the bracket is attached on this part of the engine on the side here on the cylinder head with a 12mm bolt. I took out the bolt and it's this one here. This is the bracket here, the metal bracket. That is the one that is attached to the side of the cylinder head right there with a 12mm bolt. So I'm gonna use my two hands to disconnect the sensor. Alright, that is the sensor right there. It's out, very easy to take it off. All you do is press on the tab on the wire harness and the connector of the wire harness and pull it out at the same time. Do not press on this tab here. You see that tab right there? Do not press it. But that's how you take it out. Alright, update. I brought this exhaust pipe to a shop and basically nobody wants to deal with it. First of all, they say they might replace this thing here. This is the exhaust pipe, I mean the flex pipe, but they can try to replace it only with this exhaust pipe being installed on the vehicle, not out of the vehicle, because then the whole thing is not gonna fit on the vehicle once I try to install it. And they are absolutely right with that. But they say this thing is good. I would like to replace it, but they say it's good, but they can try. But with this here, nobody wants to try, nobody wants to deal with these bolts here, with these studs. They can cut this this neck here and weld it with the one that is in the car there, and then it will remain welded already. So that's how they can try to fix the whole thing. Otherwise, the dealer is the only one that is gonna sell the whole thing, but they want a lot of money. So I'm gonna install it back in the vehicle and see if the shop can do something about it. I'll update this later on. And here is the new sensor we're gonna install. It's Denso. I like this sensor, Denso, very good quality. This is the part number here. That's 2344461. That's the part number. Now if you need one of these, I'm gonna be providing a link if you want to get one of these. Small package of Denso grease here. I'm gonna apply a little bit of anise grease on the thread right there on the sensor. Alright, I apply anise grease on the thread right there. Ensure the grease does not go down to the sensor here. Let that sensor go down very slow, just in case if it crashes against something, nothing's gonna happen. I want to keep it tight with this. I don't want the connector to go away since it's not easy to get there. Keep this rope here, very long rope. This is the spacer here. We're gonna install it and we're gonna apply some anise grease right here on the thread. That is how it looks like. That's the screen right there. See? And this spacer is gonna be taken off later on in about a month. Once they get the money they're waiting for, they're gonna install a new catalytic converter. And that is the sensor right there already hanging. Alright, let's install the spacer right now. And now let's install the sensor. This is 22mm wrench to tighten the sensor. Alright, that's the sensor already installed. Alright, let's install the exhaust pipe back in the vehicle to bring this vehicle to the shop and see what they say. And now I'm installing the 6 nuts in the exhaust pipe, as you can see it in the diagram. I'm gonna install the cross member here, the plate that it goes here, because I don't know the torque specification at this moment. I'm gonna be using this impact gun. I'm just gonna tighten the bolt a little bit. I'm gonna use my impact gun here to tighten them a little bit. And then I'm gonna tighten them with a ratchet, because I don't know the torque specification at this moment yet. Back on the top of the engine here, I already connected the O2 sensor here in the front of the engine. Alright, I'm here at the shop fixing the exhaust pipe. They're fixing it right now, they're welding it. They don't allow me to record from inside, so I'm kind of recording from here. And after they fix it, I'm gonna drive the truck and see if the code P0420 disappears or still gonna continue. So we're gonna see that. Alright, after fixing the exhaust pipe in the shop, now we driving the vehicle and we're gonna see permanent codes right there. We have nothing and nothing in pending code, so of course we're not gonna have anything either on store code, so we got rid of the code. And we have a one monitor ink left right there. I believe that's for the EVA system, the EVA, so that takes a little while to reset. It's kind of a stubborn monitor, so everything is good. The spacer is going to be removed later on in about a month, I believe, whenever these people get some money to replace the catalytic converter. So for today, thanks for watching and stay blessed.